Pearson Sharp.
There's a radical coup happening in America, and it's wearing a black robe. President Trump won the presidency, but you wouldn't know it because every time he tries to enforce the law, some hippie federal judge turns the bench into the Oval Office and tells 80 million Americans their vote didn't matter. Want to deport illegal aliens? Blocked. Want to fix the trade imbalance with China? Blocked. Want to fire deep state saboteurs in your own administration? Blocked. But don't worry, they say it's all in the name of democracy. Let's start with this week's circus. On May 31st, a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from revoking immigration documents and work permits for 5,000 illegal Venezuelans who were given temporary protected status under Biden. Keyword temporary. But apparently in 2025, temporary means forever, because even though Biden used his executive power to keep the illegals here, Trump can't use his executive power to get rid of them. The second Trump tried to cancel that status, Judge Edward Chin jumped in and protected them. Chin claimed Secretary Kristi Noem overstepped her authority, despite the fact the Supreme Court already ruled Trump had the right to end their protected status. So now we're in this weird reality where the Supreme Court says one thing and the little district judge piranhas say, nah, that's not judicial review. That's obstruction. It gets worse. Another Biden-appointed judge just blocked Trump from deporting illegal aliens convicted of violent crimes, including murderers, gang members, and predators with charges involving minors. And I'll phrase this carefully for YouTube. These aren't jaywalkers. These are people convicted of serious, violent crimes, some of them against children. I can't fathom this logic. Why on earth would anyone want to protect people who committed any of these crimes, but especially against children? Jamie Raskin, what are you thinking? I doubt there's any Democrats in my audience, but if there are, please tell me in the comments, how can you defend people who hurt children? And if you doubt that's the case, I have a tragically long list of victims to prove my point. These are not good people and they don't belong here. And if you're fighting to keep them here, what does that say about you? Getting back to the point, Trump's plan was simple. If you're in this country illegally and you've committed horrific acts against our citizens, you go. No appeals, just a one-way ticket out of here. But nope, the judge said deporting them might violate their due process. Let me ask you this. What due process did the victims get? Where were these bleeding hearts concerned about civil rights when the January 6th protesters had their due process thrown out the window? Why do illegal criminals get better treatment than American citizens? And these activist judges don't just rewrite the laws to suit their agendas. They are happy to break the law when they think they're above it. Meet Judge Hannah Dugan of Milwaukee. In April, she was arrested for allegedly helping an illegal escape ICE custody. The man, Eduardo Flores Ruiz, had already been deported in 2013. He came back, committed assault, and showed up in court. ICE agents were there waiting. What did Judge Dugan do? She allegedly helped him sneak out a side door reserved for court staff, triggering a foot chase. So when we say these judges are protecting illegals, we're not exaggerating. In some cases, they're literally shielding them from the law. These judges aren't just targeting border security though, they're also shredding Trump's economic policy. Late May, the US Court of International Trade struck down President Trump's new tariff on foreign steel and aluminum. 3 Democrat-appointed judges said he violated the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, even though this exact law has been used by every president since Carter. Funny how No one complained when Biden used this law to illegally cancel student debt or sign green energy mandates. But when Trump tries to save American jobs, suddenly it's unconstitutional. And let's not forget Trump's plan to clean house inside the government itself. He tried to reinstate Schedule F, a classification that would allow him to fire entrenched bureaucrats, those unelected experts who ignored his orders and sabotaged his presidency for 4 years. A federal judge said no. According to them, letting the president replace subversive staff who refuse to follow direct orders from the president is a threat to institutional stability. Yeah, so was the FBI lying to get FISA warrants, but I don't remember anyone blocking that. Reports show there have been over 180 rulings aimed at derailing Trump's agenda, many of them backed by legal groups tied to Norm Eisen, the same Obama lawyer who helped engineer Trump's first impeachment. Eisen is tied to more than 24 pro-democracy groups, funneling lawyers and lawsuits directly into federal courts to block Trump's executive orders, rewrite immigration rules, and interfere with foreign policy. This isn't legal oversight, it's regime control. And to be clear, this is bigger than Trump. This is about who runs the country. If a single judge can stop the president from enforcing immigration law, from defending our borders, from protecting our children, then that judge is more powerful than the president. That's dictatorship, and it's not what the Constitution had in mind. So, if you're tired of seeing criminals get protected, borders being ignored, and your vote overridden by some blue-robed activist in a DC court, share this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Should these judges face impeachment? We certainly didn't vote for them, so maybe it's time we stop letting them run our country. As always, stay sharp, stay free, and go with God.